Φίλοι, συμπατριώτες, Ρωμαίοι, δανείστε μου τα αυτιά σας.
Friends, countrymen, Romans, lend me your ears. This humble herald will regale the Senate with tales of the legendary tidings that have taken place over the last 5 years. Following the advice most presented by the Senate, we have redoubled our efforts to convert Byzantium. It will take 12 or more years. A large number of our vassals have been deeply upset by this, but one day they will open their eyes to the true faith. Per Senate recommendation, we have given some of our personal holdings over to Christophoros, the spymaster. Unfortunately, the appointment of Christophoros ended with him liking us even less. The dictates of his new position led to him taking an opposition stance to the emperor politically. The faith of the Good Times Revelation was evangelized, and Duke Yokunin of Ranj answered the call of God. Shortly after, he asked to be brought under our banners. Of course we will expand the empire, and following that, 2 tributaries in Central Asia bowed their heads as well. Even as we do nothing, the realm expands. The center is at peace and prosperity flows. An excellent marriage proposal that my youngest daughter should eventually marry the widowed Prince of England and heir, and that he should marry into our family matrilineally. In fact, they accept, and within a few short years he does indeed inherit. But his realm is in absolute chaos at his father's death. The patriarch finds it unlikely that former King Oscytel, now Duke of Wessex, should remain in England, but if and when the marriage is consummated, our family and realm will have a claim to the throne of England, restoring the far-off Celtic provinces to rightful Roman rule, and creating a colony for our Mediterranean trade goods is an excellent idea, I think. The Emperor puts forward that we should do this as soon as possible before the council. However, this plan is one of many decades in waiting, unfortunately. Shortly after, the Liberty faction took a bold first move and allowed themselves to be led by a mercenary, no less. The war to install Maria as the head to the empire also kicked off. The good and holy forces of the imperial military headed west into Greek lands to face off with the faithless cowards, most of whom were Orthodox, while the walls of Byzantium held back Maria's forces from Constantinople. After several months of jousting in the fields of Serbia and Croatia, Captain Euphemia is captured in the field and the Liberty faction is over. The Patriarch's own heir was found among their numbers, and she is now super grounded, possibly for the rest of his life. She was, of course, released from prison immediately, but she will be watched. All other rebels were forced to convert to Good Times Revelations and banished from the land. Many became adventurers of some note with their level of resources. Unfortunately, spy master Christophoros was also captured. An example was made of him: public execution. In the aftermath of converting and banishing the Liberty faction, we are left with an overflow of free estates to reward loyalists with. Every woman of adulthood in my family tree is now a governor in their own right. In ending the Liberty faction, we captured the heir of the Maria faction, while we boarded ships at Ragusa and sailed to the enemy stronghold at Charcianon. A great plague arose in those lands. Much of the enemy army died, and many leaders did as well. Indeed, the head of the faction also passed, and so we come to the present. It is now headed by Strategos Bagrat the Fat of Bulgaria. The Empress Damiane recovered from her illness, and the Lady Kira, who was brought in to be the new wet nurse, was named second concubine to the Patriarch. The most beloved Basilios has had 3 daughters with the Empress and another with his tutor, Tomais, the first concubine. This is the new state of the Empire. The Patriarch lays out a plan before the Senate to do the following: bring an end to this violence shortly, secure the realm and convert his enemies and allow them to be banished peacefully beyond our borders. Pass traitor lands on to his own children and siblings to ensure that the most dominant, most powerful, most imperial house continues to spread wide. He promises to continue educating all of the courtiers and the staff that he has and their children, and notes that he has converted all of the children of his court to becoming Greek in culture and following the good times revelations. He will continue arranging marriages for all of his children and for any of his noble courtiers. He has been quarreling with his eunuch, who thinks himself influential, and the emperor insists that this man soon be banished from the empire as well. On the docket, post-war, is a plan to continue to hold grand rites, another feast, and to finish swaying the powerful vassals, and to work on converting the most strong families to witchcraft. The Emperor notes that he did attend a grand rite hosted by another witch, the first he has ever been invited to, and was greatly pleased by the experience. His new council is completely loyal to him and him alone, and many of his courtiers and vassals are more loyal, as was his promise to you, the Senate. Fear will keep them and the people in line. The Emperor offers a look at Arabia. The dreadful man is still alive and kicking. However, upon his passing, the Emperor plans a massive border war incursion to take back Jerusalem, which he believes will be at hand shortly. Other than that, the Emperor and Basilius and Patriarch all intend to remain passive and continue to rebuild the realm in the wake of all the treason. However, should the Senate direct him to act otherwise, he is, as always, ever at their service.